Welcome to the Killshot podcast right here on the DFS Army channel. I am your host, Monk. Sniper is off this week, enjoying vacation somewhere. I don't know, hopefully somewhere nice, maybe tropical-ish. Hopefully no mosquitoes, but we'll see. But that means you get me and just me solo for breaking down all 14 fights at UFC 321 this week. So you're going to see a little bit of a different screen here. I know I did a solo show about a month or two ago, so some of you might have seen this, but this is what I'm looking at when I'm looking on my screen for DFS Army for the Killshot podcast. So we're going to go over all 14 fights. I'll give you my picks. I'll give you my best DFS plays. And at the end, we will give a kill shot, unless, of course, I forget, which has happened 75% of the time. So hopefully I won't forget. Anyways, yeah, let's get right into it, guys. First fight of the night, we've got Jacqueline Amarim taking on Mizuki. And yeah, I'm going to try to blaze through these guys. We got 14 to do. And I just talk about each one for too long. So this one, I really like Jacqueline Amarim. She has been on a tear since losing her debut fight to Sam Hughes. That was a fantastic fight, but Sam just persevered and made it through. Then she fought Montserrat Ruiz, Corey McKenna, Vanessa Demo, and Polyana Viana. So she has not fought the best levels of competition. As you can see, her strength of schedule is 20. Mizuki's worse than that. She's 2-1. She fought Wu Yanan, not in the UFC, Hannah Goldie, not in the UFC, and then Amanda Lemos took that L in that one. I just really like what I've seen out of Amarim. She has extremely good defense, basically all the way around. Allows only less than 1.5 strikes per minute at a 64% defense. She has been taken down, but she doesn't really care because she's a grappling jiu-jitsu specialist. So why anyone would want to go to the ground with Jacqueline Amarim is beyond me. So we're probably not looking to see Mizuki take her down, especially since Mizuki doesn't do that. 14% takedown accuracy. Probably landed one in her whole career. She gets outstruck 4.5 to 5.6. So we're not going to see that volume from Amarim, but what we are going to see are takedowns at 0.74 per 5 minutes. Control time at about 65%. Now, Mizuki does have 85% takedown defense. That's because Hannah Goldie attempted 14 takedowns on her. Wu Yanan was unsuccessful 4 times, and then Amanda Lemos was able to do it. So Lemos, obviously the best grappler of them all, and Jacqueline Amarim is at least that level and possibly better. So we're expecting Mizuki to get taken down. We're expecting Mizuki to get kind of dominated as far as grappling time goes, although she also controls about 65-66%. But yeah, that's kind of what we are looking for. Mizuki's game, she's just high volume, 3.8, 3.7, and then 6.2 strikes per minute in that third round. About a minute or a minute and a half of control time in every round, but all of those pale in comparison to what Jacqueline Amarim has been throwing up here. Over a takedown and a quarter per first round, almost 4 minutes of control time on average in the first round, and that is over 20 minutes of round one action. 2.39 in the second, and almost 4 strikes a minute. So her first and second rounds are very, very good. She's going to get that level up at the beginning of the fight and hopefully just drain Mizuki's energy levels till she finds a sub or until she wins a decision. Fight inside the distance is minus 160 for this strawweight fight. So I really like Jacqueline Amarim here. I didn't even say the salaries, 95 and 6,700 Amarim and Mizuki. And Amarim, obviously the big favorite, as she is the second highest price fighter on the entire card. So I really like Amarim here. I will be mixing it up at the top with my Umars, with whoever is 94. I don't remember. Somebody else up there is a decent little play. So we're going to mix Jacqueline Amarim. She's probably going to get overlooked, and she has been optimal in 3 of her 4 wins, averaging 103 points per win. So we do absolutely love to see that, and we're looking for a finish here from Amarim, who I believe has finished all of her wins so far. Yeah. First round, second round, and third round from Ruiz. So we do like to see that. Mizuki has yet to be finished in her professional. Nope, she has been KO'd once, but no submission. So that's kind of what we're looking for out of Amarim. Give Mizuki her first submission loss. But these defensive numbers are dog shit. I mean, the striking, the takedown defense isn't great, probably because, of Hannah Goldie. So even though it says 85%, it's not coming from credentialed grapplers, so her score is a little bit lower. But the defense all across the board is basically well below average, whereas Amarim's defense, very, very good. She does lack on the offensive striking front, but takedowns, control, and submission threats are there. She attempts 1.6 subs per 5 minutes. That is a crazy high number. So yeah, we're going with Amarim here. Keep it simple. Next fight, Azat Maksum taking on Mitch Raposo. And now we've got two grapplers here. As you can see, Raposo, 1.62 strikes per minute, eats double that at 3.2. 33% accuracy is dog shit. Does land about half a takedown per 5 minutes more than Azat Maksum at 1.18. Controls 80% of the grappling time. I mean, we love to see that. Look at these defensive numbers as well. Absolutely fantastic. Strength of schedule isn't bad, even though he's 1-3 in the UFC. Well, 1-2. 1-3 if you count the DWCS fight. But Jake Hadley's decent. Andre Lima, decent. Sumadarji, decent. So all middling to decent fighters that Mitch Raposo has fought. And he's done okay against them. I mean, he should have won that Sumadarji fight, to be quite honest. 6 of 19 takedowns, controlled him for almost a full round. This was a terrible decision on paper. Andre Lima, extremely close fight. And then the Jake Hadley one, not so close. But yeah, hung with Andre Lima there. Meanwhile, Azat Maksum fighting decent opponents as well. Not known for his striking, but does double the output of Raposo. But he gets hit with 5 strikes a minute. Like we said, 0.78 takedowns per 5 minutes. Controls not even half the grappling time. And we thought 33.7% striking accuracy was terrible. Look at Azat Maksum at 28.57. Just absolutely terrible. Just absolutely terrible. I'm going to say it again. Minus 350 for Maksum, plus 285 for Raposo. And Maksum, 9,200 to Raposo's 7,000. I think 7,000 might be decent. A decent little play here if we're trying to play a low salaried cash guy. Right, so minus 150 fight goes to decision. That automatically puts value on the 7K Raposo. Let me see what these guys are scoring on average. There it is. So Azat Maksum has won once in the UFC. He scored 59 points. That would have been against Tyson Nam. Now, Charles Johnson, extremely good. Well, not extremely good, but pretty fucking good. And then Tajir is even better, in my opinion. So kept both of those fights extremely close. Tajir went 0 for 8 on his takedowns, but did out-control him 4 minutes to 1. So yeah, he's had a really tough go of it. Much tougher opponents, in my opinion, than Raposo. And he's had okay success. I mean, 3 of 7 takedowns, 2 of 7, 2 of 11. So he's landing takedowns in every fight. He's getting some control time. Mitch Raposo not really giving up control time very much. About a minute and a half to Jake Hadley. Only 1 takedown allowed. Stuffed 1 from Lima. Not really a takedown artist, but 9 seconds of control there. And Sumadarji, even less than of a takedown artist than Lima. So nothing there. But yeah, Maksum has not made the optimal, obviously, in that 59. And how much was he in that fight? Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, it's down here. I don't know what I'm looking at. He was 9,600 in that fight against Tyson Nam and scored 59 points. So, yeah, I wish we could trust him. We probably can't. Look, remember I say takedowns and non-significant strikes? Well, this dude's got the takedowns, right? Tons of attempts, a few completions. Non-significant strikes, 18%, 5%, 0%. This guy does nothing in control time positions, whereas, Mitch Raposo doesn't do much better, but somebody like, say, Jailton Almeida, who we're going to talk about later, those non-significant striking numbers are way, way higher, and they contribute to his overall success when it comes to DraftKings, for sure. So Mitch Raposo, yeah, offensively, dog shit. All he has is takedowns and control time for the most part. I mean, the striking is just non-existent, but if he does find it, if I could speak, if he does find it, Azat Maksum could be in trouble as he allows way too many strikes. So the takedown defense is there, 85%, just 50% for Raposo. So we're not expecting a big stand-up battle here. Couple of wrestler/grapplers. And what are we doing round to round? 2/3 of a takedown, half a minute, even less. And then round 3, Maksum does land more takedowns, but the control time goes down even further. So the control time does wane between round 1, 2, and 3. Meanwhile, Raposo with 3 fights, we've got a couple of stats for him, but he lands about 1.3 takedowns, double the amount of Maksum in the first round. More control time and takedowns in the second, and more control time and takedowns in the third round as well. So definitely an interesting little stylistic matchup here. Maksum scores like shit, but yeah, I'm not really looking forward to much of this one in DraftKings for GPPs unless it's the $7,000 side. I don't see how I could talk myself into playing 9,200 Azat Maksum, even though Raposo is 0-3, could lose the fight. But Maksum, what are we talking about here? Like we said, 59 points in a win. He's averaging just 2.63 DraftKings points per minute. That is terrible. In wins, it's even less, 1.94 in his one fight. So I don't see how we can justify paying 9,200 against a guy in Mitch Raposo who has yet to be finished outside of, in the UFC. So Lima, Sumadarji, Hadley finished him, but that was DWCS. So, yeah, Hadley, decent grappler, I think. Oh, lights just went off. Must be 11 o'clock, time for bed. And here I am just getting started with the breakdown. So I don't know what I was saying. I think I said something about Hadley being a decent grappler, and I don't know if that's totally correct, but he was decent enough that night against Raposo. So we could see some little success here from Maxim if Raposo does not do well with grapplers. But honestly, the minus 150 fight GTD, Mitch is 7K this week. If he can get to decision and score 30, 35, 40 points, I'd be pretty happy with that, especially because I'm going to want some high-priced guys in my lineups for sure this week. So give me Azat Maxim for the win, but I think it's going to be a pretty close fight, and I like Mitch Raposo a little bit for DraftKings for some salary savings. Next fight, Hamdi Abdelwahab taking on Chris Barnett, and holy shit, man. This one hopefully won't take long. Look at the defensive numbers for Barnett, absolute dog shit. Takedown defense is okay, but that's because, no one's attempting them on him? 0, 1 of 2, 0, 0, and 1 of 1. So if you're not getting takedowns on you, this number is going to be, takedowns attempted on you, this number is going to be a little bit higher. But he does have a 33% takedown defense, just terrible, and every defensive number for the most part is dog shit. Lands good volume, 4.21 per minute, but he gets hit with 6.5. The striking defense is 39%. He's never landed a takedown. He gets controlled 87.5 to 12.5. And Hamdi is not good, guys. He gets outstruck as well, 3.5 to 4.5. Decent striking accuracy. It's not quite 50%, though, but it's still better than 47, and the striking defense is better. Has landed takedowns, has landed with power, much like Chris Barnett. Has controlled 100% of the grappling time. Now, that was against Muhammad Usman, who controls no grappling time, and then Jamal Pogues, who I don't know what exactly he does, but Don'Tale Mayes also doesn't control any grappling time. So both guys really suck. Here's the big difference. Chris Barnett is fucking 39 years old, guys. He's 39, hasn't fought in about a year. And yeah, I'm going with Hamdi here. This is a GPP special. Never, ever play either side in cash, no matter what you do. And I'll start naming the salaries here since I haven't been doing that. $9,300 for Abdelwahab and $6,900 for Chris Barnett. Now, if you're telling me, if you're making me choose, would I rather pay $6,900 for Chris Barnett or pay up to $7K and play Mitch Raposo? I'm picking Mitch Raposo, Rich Mimoso, Maposo out of 10 times out of 10. I mean, honestly, this is ridiculous. I can't back Chris Barnett in any type of fight whatsoever, especially how he's looked lately. A minus 190 ITD. I mean, Hamdi Abdelwahab, guys. Hamdi is minus 450. What does that tell you about what everyone in Vegas thinks about Chris Barnett? His only wins are John Vellante and Collier when he's taken even the slightest step up to Nchukwu, and then slightly higher for Budai. He has lost and has not looked good. So Budai, I was going to say, no, didn't finish him. It was a technical decision, I believe. And then Nchukwu finished him in the first round. So give me Hamdi Abdelwahab, GPP special, never touching this in the cash. But again, Hamdi only has 4 UFC fights. So Chris Barnett has 34 or 32 if I could do math. But yeah, Hamdi the Hammer. I guess we're going with Hamdi the Hammer here just because I can't trust Chris Barnett whatsoever. Get both sides in your GPP fights, lineups rather, but $9,300 for Hamdi is pretty fucking outrageous. So yeah, let's keep it moving. Next fight, Jose Delgado taking on Nathaniel Wood, and this is actually the first decent fight of the night. I mean, unless you count Amarim and whoever the hell she's fighting. Mizuki. This is the first decent fight of the night. Jose Delgado, 3-0 in the UFC. Well, 2-0 in the UFC, 1 DWCS fight. And his UFC fights have totaled not even 3.5 minutes. Yeah, not even 3.5 minutes. And he beat Ernie Juarez in the DWCS in 6.5. So, Haider Emil, I mean, it was 26 seconds of, a gazillion strikes, a takedown attempt, even a little control time before he landed. I believe it was an uppercut. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, of course, I had Haider Emil that week in one of my lineups, and so that didn't go well. But in his first fight, he did exactly what he was supposed to do against Connor Matthews, lands the knockdown, much like he did against Emil, much like he did against Ernie Juarez. No takedowns, no control time, really. He did show that in that DWCS fight, but not in the UFC as of yet, hasn't needed it. And, got the finish there over Matthews. So has landed a knockdown in all of his UFC fights. And then Nathaniel Wood knocked down Charrier, knocked down Pineda, not Naimov, knocked down Feely. So 3 out of his last 4 have scored knockdowns as well. And he's been fighting some decent competition. That Charrier fight was decent. I mean, both guys are lacking in the strength of schedule department, but Charrier has 1 million losses. Pineda has a bunch of losses. He's been around forever. And then Feely also has a ton of losses. So you wouldn't expect, even though these are good names, you wouldn't expect that strength of schedule number to be too high. Now, which Nathaniel Wood are we going to get, guys? Are we going to get the one that lands 4.85 strikes a minute and is stuffing takedowns for the most part and not letting his opponents get, well, too much control time? He seems to allow control time in every single fucking fight. Or are we going to get the one that gets taken down, like against Naimov 4 of 9 times, gives up more control time than usual by about double at 7 minutes, and almost gets outstruck, like he did with Casey Kenny, giving up takedowns, giving up too much control time, and almost getting outstruck. And then John Dodson just knocked him out basically in that 3rd round. So which Nathaniel Wood are we going to get? Because while Delgado has not shown much takedown or grappling in the UFC, like I said, in that DWCS fight, he did show that. I mean, over 2 minutes of a 6.5 minute fight of control time. So it seems like he does have at least some wrestling in his back pocket. Nathaniel Wood, 72% takedown defense, gets out controlled, or he controls the grappling time 52 to 48. So pretty much an even split there. Lands a ton of volume at 5.6, but not as much as Delgado. And I know the stats are, very small sample size for Delgado, but he is absorbing fewer strikes and landing more strikes than Nathaniel Wood so far into his 3.5 minutes of his UFC career for the most part. So yeah, defensively, both guys getting hit too much, both guys getting taken down, both guys getting controlled a little bit, but the numbers for Wood are decent. A lot of them are above average, but nothing is fantastic, and a lot of these lower numbers are pretty below average, but not too crazy. Like there's nothing as high as Delgado's 95, 96, but there's nothing as low as Delgado's 9 or 1. So seems like Nathaniel Wood is a little bit more well-rounded, but can he be trusted? I just don't know. And Delgado's got that knockout power, man, that he's just been showcasing lately. 8,500 for Delgado, 7,700 for Nathaniel Wood. So this could be a very interesting play. 8,500 if Nathaniel Wood ends up getting finished, because Delgado has put up 118 on average so far. And Nathaniel Wood really doesn't allow a ton, less than 89 when he loses. And has he ever been finished? Yes, twice by sub, twice by KO TKO, but only once in the UFC. So only one finish. That would have been that John Dobson knockout. Only one finish in the UFC. Excuse me, I need to get some water or something. Nathaniel Wood, one-time optimal in 5 wins, has put his opponent one-time optimal in his loss. That would have been Muhammad Naimov, and he gave up how many points? 96.6 in that one. Naimov was 7,200. So this is an interesting fight. It is the best one on the early prelims, probably stylistically. And I think I picked Jose Delgado. I think I did give it to Delgado, although it would not surprise me if Nathaniel Wood got the win here. What is Vegas saying? Minus 135 ITD. So I think that does favor Delgado a little bit, since Nathaniel Wood not really known too much as a finisher. I mean, he has 3 subs in the UFC, but he's got 9 wins, so most of them have gone to decision. Yeah, 12 wins have gone to a decision, and then 9 of them have been submissions, 1 KO TKO. So yeah, probably that favors Delgado. He's going to have to throw that volume, and he's going to have to crack Nathaniel Wood a couple of times, I think. But Wood's chin has gotten him in trouble before, and I just haven't seen enough of Delgado to play a ton of him or not play a ton of him. So I'll have an average amount of Jose at 8,500. And Nathaniel Wood I do like because he's a veteran, despite his nickname, The Prospect. I think that needs to be changed to The Veteran. But I do like him, but it just depends on which one's going to show up. So give me Jose Delgado, higher DraftKings ceiling, and I am picking him to get the win. Walter Walker gets rebooked a couple weeks later after Muhammad Usman, I believe, pulls out. And he takes on Louis Sutherland, who was supposed to fight a couple weeks ago. And I think Justin Tafa pulled out. One of the Tafas pulled out. I think it was Justin. So Louis making his debut against Walter. And I think while the fight is more interesting than either of the other fights, I still have to ride with Walter Walker here. Look, we know he doesn't do anything from a striking perspective, like doesn't even land 2 strikes a minute. Defense is decent, even though it's only 43% striking defense. He allows only 2.89 per minute. Takedowns, here's the big one, 1.81 takedowns per 5 minutes. Control time controls almost 95% of all control time he's involved in. And defensively, the takedowns, the control is pretty good. Striking, probably not great. In fact, this number is only so low because he puts guys on their backs and they can't punch him. So that is his clear path to victory, as Louis Sutherland is a giant heavyweight who's he 10-3. He has 8 KO TKOs in his career and has only been to decision 5 times, but has lost all 3 decisions. Walter Walker's minus 325, and this fight is minus 325 to end inside the distance. Now with that comes a salary of 9,100. and Sutherland is 7,100. So GPP special here. Get both guys in your lineups. Obviously, Sutherland, if you put him in, he's got a knockout chance for sure. But how big is that chance? How much are you willing to risk on that? Because Walter Walker should be able to take this dude down and probably heel hook him. He's got 3 in a row. Can he make it 4? The chance is there for sure. Now, we don't know much about Sutherland. I have no stats for him, so maybe if you did tape, you know more than I do. I did a little bit of it 2 weeks ago when he was supposed to fight in Perth, but I haven't done any more. Never been subbed, never been finished, so he has no subs. We have to assume that he is generally a striker, right? 8 KO wins and no submissions. He doesn't like to go to the ground. So if Walter can trip him, take him down, he's probably going to struggle to get up, and Walker is going to do Walker things, which includes looking for submissions. So that's what we are expecting here. He throws up 0.68 subs per 5 minutes. We love to see that. His striking doubles from round 1 to round 2 almost, then comes back down to earth, but he's landing a ton of takedowns, especially in that first round, averaging 2.5 takedowns in round 1 and 3.5 minutes of control time. Those numbers do drop to 1 takedown in 1 minute in the second round, and then 1 takedown in 3 minutes in that third round. So Louis in for a long night. I say this is a GPP special because if Louis lands, then he's going to be optimal at 7,100, and you're going to have so much more room for guys like Aspinall, like Umar, like whoever the hell else, Jacqueline Amorim, whoever else is up there. So maybe you like Jose Delgado a lot. So yeah, you're going to need to get some of these Louis Sutherland type guys in your lineups in order to get the more expensive guys in there as well. But that is a big risk. Like I said, if he gets taken down, is he going to be able to get up? Is he going to be completely fucking gassed if he gets taken down and manages to last a round? What is it going to look like? I have to favor Walter Walker here. I just have to, based on what we've seen. Heel hook Nchekwu, heel hook Mays, heel hook Tafa. The Breshke loss I'm willing to forgive, even though it's a bit tough to forgive. On paper, he did win that fight. Walker did. 4 or 5 takedowns and a round and a half of control, but it wasn't good enough to get the judges' nod. Now, Walker, how does he score? 87th percentile, made optimal 1 of 3 wins, and he averages 110.7 per win. His lowest is only 97, basically 98 points, so he's 10xing his value even at 9,100, and if that happens again, we will probably see a decent score out of him. So we need at least a takedown, we need some control time, and we need the round 1 finish for sure, because we're not going to get a ton of striking, non-significant or otherwise, from Walter Walker. 0%, 80%. I guess in 2 of his fights, he did land a bunch of non-significant strikes, and by a bunch, I mean like 4 before he got the sub, so it's not a ton. So we definitely need takedowns, control time, and a first round submission win from Walter Walker. I don't think it's necessarily impossible to do against Sutherland. And I picked Sutherland last time straight up before the fight got canceled, and I said that now that Paul Craig is gone, I got to get another Scott to root for. That was going to be Louis Sutherland, but against Walter Walker this week, I just can't see it. So give me Walter Walker. Get him in your lineups. I actually maybe don't mind him in GPPs, although it is in cash lineups, although it is extremely risky to put 2 heavyweights, one of them at least, in your cash lineup against a guy that hits hard as fuck. So I'll probably be looking elsewhere. There's other 9K guys I could feel a little bit more comfortable with, but I could see how you could make an argument for Walter Walker in cash at 9,100. But pretty much a GPP play again, with the ITD being minus 325. Walter Walker sub plus 1.25. So yeah, not much on that. So yeah, give me Walter first round submission to make the optimal lineup. Next fight, Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi taking on Mateus Camilo, and this fight is Camilo. And this fight is just not interesting to me for DraftKings. I think it's my lowest one that I'm looking forward to. Minus 120 for Al-Sawadi, plus 100. The comeback for Camilo and Sawadi is 8,200 and 8,000. This would be our mid-range fight, but we do have an 81-81 fight in here that got added as a not late notice, but it got added last after all the rest. And we have not had an 81-81 salary in, 2 years. It's been quite a long time, so I'd have to look it up. But either way, I'm not excited about Camilo. What does he do? A strike and a half per minute, no knockdowns, 1.15 takedowns per 5 minutes. That's great. He's only getting, a little bit of control time, though. He's throwing up submissions, and this was all from one fight. This is all in the Gabe Green fight. So he did a bunch of stuff, a bunch of stuff early. Why is my beard doing this? It's really annoying me. Just stay flat. What's wrong with you? But then Gabe Green turned the tables and, got that reversal and choked out Camilo. So I don't know what, I mean, 13 strikes in almost 9 minutes is dog shit. 2 takedowns, 2.5 minutes of control time. You land 13 strikes. What the fuck is going on? That's significant strikes, obviously. He did land some non-significant strikes, but all those takedowns, all that control, he ended up with 23.7 points. That's it. So that is just not going to fly here. Kareem Al-Sawadi lands more volume, absorbs much more volume, no power as well, has been knocked down. The takedowns are there, but they're not as good as Camilo, or not the volume that Camilo's looking at, and 76, almost 77% control time. The ratings aren't great. He's just average everywhere. Defensively, he's decent outside of the striking, but maybe we shouldn't have to worry about too much of that with Camilo, since he averaged, 1.5 strikes per minute in that last fight. What was I even looking for? Camilo has 4 KO finishes and 2 submission wins. He has been subbed 3 times. All 3 of his losses have come via submission. 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Abdul Kareem does have 2 wins via submission. So he's fought George Hardwick in the DWCS, and then he got KO'd by Loic Radzhabov. 3 of 7 takedowns, but got taken down 4 of 5 times. Gave up control, but established control himself, and had a pretty even fight on the feet. So it was a very, very close fight until Radzhabov finished him off. So yeah, Al-Sawadi would not have scored well in that George Hardwick fight, scoring only 70 points per win, or in that win, I should say, if the DWCS kept score. Otherwise, he gave up 96.8 to Loic Radzhabov. So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this one. Minus 130 ITD doesn't even do it for me. I picked Al-Sawadi to win. I think he's probably a little bit slightly better on the feet, and I really don't know what Camilo does. I got to see more of it. I mean, we saw him in the Ultimate Fighter House, I believe. We saw him in this last fight against Gabe Green, and he just did not look very good. He just didn't do anything. That's my issue, man. How do you get 2 takedowns, 2.5 minutes of control, and you're not landing any significant strikes? You land 13 significant strikes in the entire fight. That's absolutely dog shit. So I don't know, man. I got to go with Al-Sawadi here. I just don't trust Camilo. GPP fight only. I would never trust either of these guys in a cash lineup, and I'm probably not going to have a ton of it. This is my lowest ranked fight to target on the entire card, and it's pretty obvious as to why. So, I mean, I even most people hate on women's fights, not me, of course. Seriously, I don't. I think they score very well a lot of the time. I like Amari Mizuki better. I like Maxim Raposo better. That's a GPP. Yeah, so Al-Sawadi and Camilo is probably my lowest ranked fight on this entire card. Give me Abdul Kareem Al-Sawadi, and let's keep it moving. Next fight, Ludovic Klein taking on Mateusz Rebecki. And a lot of people, I think, are on Klein this week because of how Rebecki has looked lately. And by how he's looked, I mean, people see that he's lost a couple of his last couple, like 2 of his last 3, and they're like, oh, he's dog shit. But, Chris Duncan fight was an amazing fight. CDF is always tough as shit. And Oralbai is his best win by far, and he looked pretty good against Oralbai there. So Klein, meanwhile, beating guys like Cunningham, Moises, Roberts. Then he takes his step up, and he gets absolutely fucking demolished. Lands 24 strikes, like 1.6 per minute. No takedowns even attempted. No control time. He just got worked on. I mean, he gave up 9 minutes of control in a 15-minute fight, 6 of 11, and he got outstruck 3-1. So, yeah, anytime he takes a step up, or when he did take a step up, he failed miserably. And I would say Rebecki is definitely a step up, for sure. I mean, he might be 5'7" with a 66-inch reach. This dude is fucking ripped, and he is ready to go. Southpaw versus southpaw, so Klein's kicks might not work as well. Rebecki has fantastic offense, basically all around, and Klein has very, very good offense as well. Obviously, Rebecki lands about 1.5 strikes per minute more than Klein. He also absorbs 1.2 strikes more per minute than Klein does. Both have very good striking defenses. Klein controls 66%, while Rebecki controls 80%. And Rebecki lands more takedowns by over double than what Klein does. So I'm very interested in this fight. Klein is a minus 150 favorite as of a couple hours ago, and Rebecki is plus 130. So that means you can get Rebecki at, I believe, 7,800, and Klein is 8,400. Now, Rebecki, when he wins, 107 points on average, high of 122, his low of 92. That's his floor. Was the lowest amount of points he scored in a win is 92. Meanwhile, Klein did put up 135 against Cunningham, a guy he should never have ever been fighting in the first place. But he did also win with scoring, under 70 points. So the floor is lower here, ceiling is higher. but the average is crazy different. 92.3 compared to 107. In fact, if you take out Ludovic's highs and lows, his average drops by 4 points to 88.21. Rumbeschke, you do that same thing, his average goes up. It's basically the same, but it goes up by 0.1 points. So I like Rumbeschke here. I'm picking him outright to win. Both guys have made the optimal 50% of their wins, and both guys have put their opponents optimal 2 out of 3 times for Lode Klein and 1 out of 2 times for Rumbeschke. So I really like this fight, man. I think Rumbeschke needs to have a good showing here. A win over Ludovic Klein puts him right back where he needs to be, fighting to get, fighting for his place to be talked about for a title fight, if that makes sense. So he's still like 2, 3, maybe even 4 wins away at this point, but Ludovic Klein needs to beat Ludovic Klein rather to take a step in that right direction. So I like Rumbeschke here. I just think he's better all around than Klein, and while Klein has looked very good and has been on this fucking amazing run since that Landwehr fight, Rumbeschke's only lost to decent opponents and has been better wins overall than Ludovic Klein does. So the strength of schedule reflects that at a 70th percentile compared to 48. And these offensive numbers from Rumbeschke are just crazy. Striking, takedowns, control, inside the distance striking, ground striking, submission offense. Every category looks fantastic for Rumbeschke. The defense definitely needs work. He gets hit way too much, and he's not chinny, but he wears damage very, very poorly. Eyes always swell up. He's black and blue and red all over. It is just never a good look for Rumbeschke when he starts to get hit. So he's going to have to watch for Klein, but then again, Klein doesn't throw a ton of volume. So he's just going to have to watch out. A lot of those leg kicks, maybe some knees from Klein, but if he can just throw that volume that Rumbeschke's used to, land a couple takedowns, and, because Klein's defense isn't perfect. It's a good 76%, but it is not perfect. We just saw him get taken down 6 of 11 times and controlled. I guess, Jai Herbert took him down once, and then Nate Landwehr took him down once before that. So it's not a ton. But a lot of these guys don't attempt takedowns. I mean, Mason Jones does. He attempted 3. But Bahamondes doesn't. Cunningham didn't have time to do anything. Moises couldn't do shit, or the ghost of Moises, rather. And Roosevelt Roberts, attempted 3 but couldn't do anything. He was a minus 1,500 favorite against Roosevelt Roberts. So, yeah, his last few fights, AJ, minus 1,200. Roosevelt, minus 1,500. Moises, this should have been a lot wider than it was, but we didn't know Moises was Moises then. So, yeah, a lot of easier fights here for Ludovic Klein. Then he goes up to Gamrot and gets absolutely fucking worked. And I think Rumbeschke is a step below Gamrot, but way above these guys. So give me Rumbeschke to get the rebound win and score pretty well, especially at the salary of 7,800. Next fight, Ikram Aleksgarov taking on Junyoung Park. And I like the Iron Turtle this week, guys. I'm picking 2 underdogs in a row. And I just like the Iron Turtle. I mean, Aleksgarov does one thing really well, and that's striking. He has takedowns. He does control pretty good percentages of the grappling time at 95%. But who here is going to take him down? Souza in the DWCS, Phil Hawes, Warley Alves, Robert Whittaker didn't even attempt a takedown, but the fight didn't even last 2 minutes. And then Muniz was the only person to attempt a single takedown, and it was not completed. So Aleksgarov has not been tested. Meanwhile, Junyoung Park, 8 takedowns attempted, 6, 1, 3, 4. Almost every single fight, Junyoung Park is attempting multiple takedowns, and he's landing them. 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. If Park is able to get Aleksgarov down, what is that going to look like? First of all. Second of all, Park is extremely durable. It's very, very tough to finish. Where's my finishing numbers? He's been finished twice in the UFC, once via submission, once via KO TKO, not by Muniz. One was Gregory Rodriguez, and I don't know who the sub was. Minus 240 is Ikram Aleksgarov. Number plus 205 is the comeback on Junyoung Park. And you can roster Park for 7,200. Aleksgarov is 9K. 9 fucking K? How? You would need a first round finish, maybe a ton of strikes in a second round finish for Aleksgarov to make the optimal lineup at 9K. And we just told you that Park doesn't really get finished, hasn't been finished since Rodriguez back in, I'll go back down, 2021. So it's been over 5 years at this point. Well, about 5 years. And he lands 5 strikes a minute almost, absorbs a few too many at 3.5. But he's never been knocked down ever in the UFC. Controls majority of the grappling time. decent takedowns as well, more than, almost double of what Alaskarov is doing. And Alaskarov just has that volume. So these numbers could be better for Iron Turtle, his striking defense, especially when you're going up against some of the best striking numbers in the entire UFC. And that's strictly based on volume, accuracy, and power. And these numbers are all insanely high for Ikram Alaskarov. So it's clear what Ikram's going to be looking to do. I mean, 9 strikes, 2.7, 12.2, 9.2. It's clear what Alaskarov is going to do. Now, what is Jun Young Park going to do to stop that? Now, he just fought a huge cheater in Nardiev, gave up 5 strikes a minute, won the fight after being almost dead from, I believe, an illegal knee. Brad Tavares, 4.3. Muniz doesn't strike. Duraev, Tululin, 2.4, 3.4. So the numbers aren't great when he actually fights decent fighters. He is giving up strikes at a pretty high clip, but he's also tough as shit. So if Alaskarov maybe burns himself out from throwing a million punches by round 2, then Jun Young Park could turn it on, get his game going. So I'm just thinking that if Park's not going to get finished in round 1, Alaskarov is not paying off that salary whatsoever. What is he? Six points a minute is a fucking lot of points, actually. The lowest he's ever scored in a win is 98. Ugh. Yeah, so get Alaskarov, get both guys in your GPP lineups for sure, because if Alaskarov can win early, he's going to be optimal at 9K, most likely. But honestly, Jun Young Park, too durable, hasn't been finished in 5 years. He is the older fighter, but he's only 34 years old. I don't know, man. I could see it happening, but at the same time, I can't see it happening. So give me Jun Young Park to win. I don't know if that's a good call or if I'm just being contrarian. But yeah, get both guys in your GPP lineups. Jun Young Park, you could actually consider playing him in cash at 7,200 just because he's so cheap. And if Alaskarov doesn't win in the first round, then Park might put up a serviceable amount of points. So I wouldn't go too crazy with like Park and Raposo unless you think that's something you want to do. If you got a couple of high-priced guys or girls that you're trying to play, maybe pick one of them, Park or Raposo. But yeah, I don't know, man. I have a feeling about Park's durability. Just he wins fights that he shouldn't win sometimes. You feel like he's out of it, and he's never out of it in this fight. So Alaskarov throws a ton, hits with power. He's very accurate, but he's got definite holes in his game as well. So if Park can stun him or even get him down, this fight could look very different very quickly. So I'd hope Park could try to attempt a takedown in the first round. Slow Alaskarov at least in those first 5 minutes, because the dude lands. I mean, he has never gone out of the second round. So yeah, 7.76 strikes per minute. That would be first round. Yeah, 2 minutes, and just under 5 minutes. So looks like if Park lasts 2 minutes, then he should be in the safe zone. Otherwise, it could be a short night for Park. Either way, get these guys in your lineups. I'm picking the underdog because he's more durable, but when I say it out loud, it makes me think that something terrible is going to happen. So give me Jun Young Park, and let's keep it moving. Next, we've got Nasrat Haqparast taking on Quillen Salkilled. And we'll actually look at the lines first this time, because this line is flipped, thank God. Minus 120 for Haqparast, plus 100 for Salkilled. This line was the opposite of this yesterday. Salkilled was favored, and I couldn't believe it. Haqparast is 8,100. Salkilled is an $8,100 salary. And it's got to be because of, Salkilled's had, 3 fights, 2 in the UFC, 1 DWCS, 5.5 strikes a minute, 2.8 takedowns per 5. 76% control time. Just fantastic numbers, right? But who's he fighting? He's fighting Gage Young. He's fighting Anshul Jubilee. And he's fighting Yanal Ashmuz. So what? 9 of 22 takedowns against Young. 8 of 23 against Ashmuz. A ton of control time. Yeah, is he going to be able to do that against Haqparast, who has an 84%, 85% takedown defense? Lands strike per minute more than Salkilled. Does have a problem defensively at 6.01, but this number's gone up so much in the past few fights because all of a sudden he just stands and bangs with people. We've never seen that from Haqparast outside of his last 3-4 fights, but we are seeing it now. The striking offense is fantastic. The takedown offense, not so much. Defense, striking-wise, is questionable, but the takedown defense, control defense, so many things here that totally go against everything Salkilled does, right? So Salkill's looking for those takedowns, like I said. He's looking for that control time, and he's just landing a ton of volume for the most part. So Haqparast, like we said, does absorb a ton of volume, but it didn't used to be like that. Ribovic landed 10 on him a minute. Jared Gordon, almost 10. Quinones, almost 10, 5. But in each of these fights, Haqparast is right there, 9 strikes a minute, 9.7. 9.2, 11.4, and 4.2. I mean, 5, 6.6. This dude's been throwing a ton of strikes forever, and he always gets outstruck for the most part. Let's look at the takedowns, though. No one, I mean, Jared Gordon went 0 for 13. No attempts, no attempts, no attempts. 1 attempt from King Green, unsuccessful. 3 of 7 from Dan Hooker. That's the last time Hack Brass has been taken down. And that's been 4 years, 4+ years since he's been taken down. The only other person to get him down in his last 10 UFC fights was Alexander Munoz, went 1 of 8. So I don't know that Salkild's going to be able to do that to Nasrat Haqparast, who hasn't been scoring well, but lately he's kind of flipped that around. I mean, 90.4, 90.4, 117, 99. We were seeing scores like this very consistently, 78, 69, 72. So not great stuff from Haqparast, but he's starting to turn it around, and he's getting this average up a little bit higher each and every fight, which we do love to see. And I'm just not impressed. Not impressed. I haven't seen enough from Salkild against quality competition, which Haqparast is definitely quality competition. I mean, he's 15 steps above any of these guys. Ribovic is better than Salkild. Gordon, I mean, is Malarkey? I don't know. King Green, Dan Hooker, Rafa Garcia. I mean, all these guys could be better than Quillen fucking Salkild, and this dude was the favorite. This is a -170 to go to decision, and that makes sense because a lot of Haqparast's previous fights have been decision. 1-2. The Malarkey fight was a knockdown or knockout. All the rest in his last 10, well, except Drew Dober, they were all decision fights. So I don't know, man. I'm on the Haqparast side, like, firmly. I think Salkild's going to get his ass whooped, to be completely honest, unless he just takes Haqparast off his feet, controls him for a whole round. They get up, he does the same thing in round 3. I don't see what he's going to do against Haqparast if he can't do that. So give me Haqparast probably in all formats at 8,100, to be completely honest, and Salkild probably just GPPs for me, and it's probably not a ton. I'm interested to see how far this line does go. Like, how high will Haqparast get? Will he get up to -130, -150? That's what I'm interested in seeing. So I couldn't believe the line when it came out. I may or may not have jumped on it immediately, but I do like Haqparast in all formats. Salkild, he's still very young, only 10 fights on his professional record, and I just got to see it first, man. If he beats Haqparast, I'll be pretty surprised, and I will reevaluate my stance on him. But as of now, Haqparast should whoop his ass, right? Next fight. Speaking of ass whoopings, or potential ass whoopings, Azamat Murzakanov taking on Alexander Rakic. And I wanted to go with Rakic at first. Murzakanov is 6 inches shorter. He's got a 6 or 7 inch reach disadvantage. And Rakic is really good with the striking, 4.16. Well, his numbers anyway. I don't know about his techniques per se. But 4.16 strikes a minute, gets a couple takedowns. More importantly, controls a ton of the grappling time, mostly cage time, obviously. 87% almost control from Rakic. He's losing to the best of the best, right? I mean, his strength of schedule is 66, but who's he losing to? Champ Ankalaev, well, former champ. Yuri Prohashka, former champ Blachowicz, beats Smith, beats Thiago Santos, loses to Volkan Ozdemir. Like, he's losing to decent competition. Murzakanov has yet to lose, ever. And one knockdown. He's gotten knockdowns in all of his fights. Now he's fighting Devin Clark and Chukwi, Shafel, Hibedo. But he's also knocking down the likes of Dustin Jacoby and Alonzo Menefield. Now, the Jacoby fight was extremely close, but he still did what he needed to do, and he beat the kickboxer in a striking match. Beats Alonzo Menefield, knocks him out in 8 minutes, and I guess the one decision was that Jacoby fight. But yeah, Rakic, I don't know, I wanted to pick him, but I think Murzakanov is just so fucking sound technically from a striking aspect. I mean, 57% accuracy with a 60% defense and a ton of power is a pretty good fucking weapon to have here. Now, Murzakanov is -115. This is almost a pick'em. Rakic -105. -140 fight ITD. And the salaries here, Murzakanov 8,300. That's very tempting in pretty much all formats. 7,900 for Rakic. Definitely play this in G. My pick is Murzakanov. I picked him to win. Get Rakic in there too because of the height, because of the size, and because of who he's fought. Like, he's a decent fighter. Right? If he gets past Murzakanov, then we can have a different conversation. But there's also a big chance that Mirzakhanov just deads this dude in round 1, round 2. So I'm going with Mirzakhanov with the power, just the better technical striker, I should say. I mean, he's got 12 finishes and 15 wins. 11 of those are KO TKOs, 5 of which have come in the UFC. So most of them in the first round, couple of them in the second and third. So yeah, give me Mirzakhanov. Very close fight. Should be a striking affair. We're not looking for too many takedowns. Rakic doesn't land any. Mirzakhanov really doesn't land any either. In fact, where's the one? Yeah, 1 of 5 against Jacoby. Excuse me, 1 of 1 against Clark, 1 of 5 against Nchukwi. And Rakic, 1 of 4 against Blachowicz, 1 of 9 against Uzdemir, and that's about it. 3 of 4 against Justin Ledet. So yeah, I'm liking Mirzakhanov here. Doesn't always score the best. In fact, he once won with a 72. That was probably the Jacoby fight. Yes, it was. Otherwise, he's right about 100. 112, 100, 106. Nchukwi was a third-round win. He only got 72 there. And DWCS, he would have scored 103. So Rakic not giving up a ton. Ankalaev didn't score shit on him, but he never scores well. 103 to Yuri. Jan never scores well. 67 to Uzdemir. So he's not really giving up a ton of points. He's pretty defensively sound for the most part. Like, these are all pretty good numbers. But these numbers have something to say about these numbers. So I'm going with Mirzakhanov here. Get him in your GPPs. I don't know about cash. I might rather have Haqparast. I don't know. He's in the running, though. You could probably play him. It's a little bit tough because Rakic is such a savvy veteran, so good for the most part. But, man, if Mirzakhanov finds a shot, this shit could be over in the first round. So give me Mirzakhanov, like him at 8,300. Let's keep it moving. Next fight. One of my favorite guys, Jailton Almeida, taking on Alexander Volkov. And yeah, Jailton, I'm rostering him in every lineup, or in every format. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. In every format, he doesn't even allow a strike per minute. 65% striking accuracy is crazy good. 2.19 takedowns per 5 minutes is absurd. 4 minutes out of every 5 he is controlling is equally absurd, and that is good for 91% of all grappling time. Meanwhile, Volkov, 5.27 strikes a minute, so double what Almeida lands, gets hit with 3.1. Very good accuracy and defense, has some power, has been knocked down. Takedowns are pretty much not there. Control time, he gets out-controlled 70-30. And defensively, could be better, right? The striking accuracy, or the striking defense is pretty good, but we don't really care about that with Jailton Almeida, do we? He's got a 74% takedown defense, which is decent, but he gets out-controlled, and the people taking him down are not the best, right? Cyril Gane took him down twice. Not good. Cyril Gane can't wrestle. Aspinall, 2 of 2. Cyril Gane tried 4 times in that one, but look what's happening in his last 2 losses, guys, to guys that can wrestle. Well, the guys that have taken him down, I should say. Cyril Gane can't wrestle. 2 of 4, 3 minutes of control time. He loses. Aspinall, 2 of 2, 2 minutes of control time. Volkov loses. What the fuck do you think Jailton Almeida is going to do here? I think he's going to take him down and control him. This fight should have been an ass whooping, which it kind of was since Blades whooped his ass, but at the end with those downward elbows, I don't know what Almeida was thinking there, but this ass whoop index tells you who won the fight, and Almeida got KO'd and is still a 25 ass whoop index, which means he whooped Curtis Blades' ass in that one, and then just took like 16 shots to the side of the head and was done. Derek Lewis, 6 of 15, 1 of 2, 3 of 5, 3 of 3, 1 of 2, 2 of 2, and 3 of 5. Almeida is going to take Volkov down and control him, land a ton of non-significant strikes, which we see here, which is why he scores so fucking well over 50% in most of those that I clicked on. 90th percentile for scoring, has made optimal in 5 of 8 wins, averages 114 points per win, his low is 94. And he's 88 fucking 100 this week, guys. Now, Volkov allows 103.25 per loss on average. Take out the low and the high, it's 92.89, which is a big difference, but it's still more than 10x of Jailton's salary. So, yeah, I'm firmly on the side of Almeida here. I mean, he's averaging 5.5 raw DraftKings points per minute, guys. Per minute. In his wins, it's over 5. I mean, Volkov is basically half that. Well, not quite, but almost. So, yeah, I'm going with Almeida here. He's going to be able to take Volkov down. Now, I am worried about the height. He's listed at 6'7". Supposedly, he's taller than that. 80-inch reach. It is very difficult. Well, not very, but it is more difficult to take down these bigger, taller guys. I think if anybody can do it, it's Jailton fucking Almeida. So, yeah, I'd be looking for him to land takedowns on Volkov, land those non-significant strikes, rack up control time, and hopefully finish this fight. But even if he doesn't, if he's able to do all those things against Volkov for 15 minutes, he's going to score 130 fucking points, and you're going to want him in your lineup. So 8,800, I'm rostering him in all formats for sure. I love him in GPPs, love him for cash as well, and he's $500 cheaper than his average salary. And yeah, Volkov's 36 now. It's not super old. Almeida's only 34. But Volkov's been around for a long time, and he's losing. He's winning against good competition. Pavlovich, Tuivasa to an extent, Rosenstruik. But when he takes that step up, Aspinall gone, he has trouble finishing, getting those wins. And I'm not saying Almeida is up there as far as Aspinall, but I think he's pretty fucking close. And it's been a while since he's fought, almost a full year since he got that win over Spivak. But he is dominant in every win. He's getting these takedowns. He's scoring 1 million points. How can you pass that up against the guy that has, serviceable takedown defense on paper, but when it comes down to it, is it really serviceable, or is it kind of a hindrance that stops him from winning the fight? So that's what we're going with here. Give me Almeida. Love him in every format. And yeah, let's get another win. Next fight, Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Mario Batista, everyone's favorite fighter, Mario Batista. I really like him, actually. I picked him against Patchy. I've picked him in a few other fights. I love that people hate him. Oh, I picked him against Aldo. Oh, that's a sacrilegious win against Aldo. No one should be able to do that to Aldo. Well, maybe Aldo shouldn't take fights against guys like that, or maybe he should learn how to get off the fucking cage. He's had 40 goddamn fights. You can't get off the cage, bro? What are we talking about here? Everyone hates on Mario Batista because some other guy's aspect of his game fucking sucks. Like, I know Aldo's the GOAT at bantam or at featherweight, but you can't get off the cage against a bantamweight? And people are mad at that dude? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So I'm a big Mario Batista liker. I like him as far as, him being a fighter, but I really like Umar Nurmagomedov as well. 4.3 strikes a minute, allows 2, 1.09 takedowns per 5, controls 91% of the control time. What are we even doing here? Batista lands 6 strikes a minute, which is very good, but eats 4.5. Takedown defense is under 68%, and he's going to get mauled. He's going to get fucking mauled by Umar Nurmagomedov in these offensive numbers compared to these defensive numbers. Like, what are we doing here? Like, guys like Umar with that wrestling ability can't ever strike. They're pretty bad at it for the most part. Umar's landing 4.5 strikes a minute at a 57% accuracy. His striking defense is 60%, and he's doing all that grappling. It's really kind of incredible for the most part. Minus 625 for the most expensive fighter on the card, plus 475 for Mario Batista, and 9,600 is the salary for Umar. 66 is the salary for Batista. Now, Umar's coming off that Merab loss. And he lost the fight. What are you going to do? He got outstruck, he got taken down, he got out-controlled. Everything in that fight happened to him. So until then, though, he's smashing dudes. Morozov, Kelleher, Manus, Barcelos, who he knocked out while he was running in. Almacan, who did stun him once, got a knockdown in one of his 3 punches, but then got controlled for 11.5 minutes of a 15-minute fight. And then most importantly, that Corey Sandhagen win, which he outstruck Corey Sandhagen, took him down a bunch of times, and dominated him on the ground. So, yeah, what is Mario Batista going to do against probably the second best bantamweight? I think you can make that argument. Even if you couldn't, I still believe, which is important, that he could be the second best bantamweight. What is Mario Batista going to do against this dude? Yeah, he fucked up Patchy Mix. You think Patchy Mix and his grappling is any match for Umar Nurmagomedov? Because I don't. I think Umar would fucking kill this dude. Too bad we'll never ever get to see it because Patchy Mix is out here losing to Polish debutantes. But yeah, I don't think Patchy's anywhere near the skill level that Umar Nurmagomedov is. And I really like Umar here, 9,600. Probably good in all formats. I hate to see my guy Batista get done like this, but he's going to get done like this. Like, he has the volume, but he's got nothing else. There's no power behind that volume. He does land takedowns occasionally. It's like I said, 70% control time. He's not going to fucking do that on Nurmagomedov. He is not going to even attempt that on Nurmagomedov. It worked against Blackshear. It's worked against Guido Canetti, Benito Lopez, Brian Kelleher, Jay fucking Perrin. It's not going to work against Umar Nurmagomedov. So I think Umar's just more well-rounded, probably better everywhere except the distance striking. But he's also very well versed in getting inside your distance and then taking you down and implementing his game. So we're going with Umar Nurmagomedov. I think he's good in every single format this week, GPP, cash, whatever you're playing. Batista is probably fine for a few GPP plays, but that's really about it. Unfortunately, the matchup just does not do him any favors, and the UFC hates him, and everyone hates him except for me, Mario. I think you're awesome. So give me Umar Nurmagomedov. Hate to root against my guy Batista here, but Umar's no fucking joke. Co-main event of the evening for the for the strawweight belt 5-round fight here. Mackenzie Dern taking on Virna Jandiroba, and we're going Virna, baby. Let's go. We're picking her outright, picking her to get the title, and I've been picking her for a long time as, you know, a future strawweight title belt holder. That was too many words, but you know what I'm saying. I think she's that good. I mean, no one looks good against Zhang Weili. This is true. Actually, neither one of these women have fought Zhang. Oh, they fought each other. That must be what I'm thinking. So Virna fought Mackenzie Dern back in 2020 and lost the fight. It was an extremely close fight. You know, she got outstruck, unfortunately. She was the one that landed the takedown, though, and she outcontrolled Mackenzie Dern 244 to 234. Now, Dern losing to strikers, Marina Rodriguez, Yan Xiaonan, Jessica Andrade. That was a terrible loss. Amanda Lemos. These are all, like, Andrade can wrestle, obviously, and grapple, but these are all primary grapplers for, I mean, the other three, Rodriguez, Xiaonan, and Lemos, primary strikers, excuse me. I think I said grapplers, but they are primary strikers. Other than that, when Dern is fighting people that can land takedowns, she's dominating them on the ground for the most part, or outstriking them and beating them at their own game. So we've seen that a bunch of times here. Virna is also fighting like the best of the best. Like, they fought a ton of the same people. Virna actually has the better strength of schedule overall, and it's easy to see why. I mean, she's fought Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Ribas, Angela Hill, Marina, Lupi, Lemos, Yan Xiaonan. It's basically the same amount of people that Dern is fighting, with a couple better fighters in there for the most part, but that's pretty arguable. Nina Nunes and Kanato Murata, excuse me. But yeah, I just like Virna Jandiroba here. She's not landing the volume that Mackenzie is, right? Mackenzie's well over 3 strikes a minute. She gets hit with 3.9. Virna gets outstruck too, but it's 2 strikes to 2.5. But the takedowns, 0.3 per 5 minutes for Dern, 0.8 per 5 minutes for Jandiroba. Dern controls 64% of the grappling time. Jandiroba controls 77%. And she throws up more submissions per 5 minutes than Dern does. She has more reversals, and she's just more active on the ground overall. Now, the striking, not so good. She's not going to, you know, we're not going to see that really from either woman, but the striking defense is phenomenal. Actually, the all-around defense for Virna Jandiroba is much, much better than Mackenzie Dern, who has abysmal striking defense. The takedown defense is okay, but on paper, it's 25% because she can be taken down and she can be controlled. 2 of 2 from Ribas got controlled 5.5 minutes. Or almost 6 minutes, rather. 2 of 3 from Godinez got controlled for 1 minute and 45. 2 of 2, 4 minutes. Where are we at here? No other. I mean, Yan Xiaonan controlled her for 4 minutes. She's a primary striker. Angela Hill controlled her for 7 minutes. Tisha Pennington, 3 minutes. 3 minutes from Virna Jandiroba in the first fight. Virna is out here, I mean, Mackenzie Dern is out here giving up a ton of control minutes, and she's just going for these submissions that aren't hitting. So when she does hit, they sure fucking hit. But when they don't, she just stays on her back, gets punched, gets hit with these non-significant strikes, and just gives up point after point after point. Speaking of non-significant strikes, 89%, 90%, 65, 70, 85, 58. If Virna Jandiroba gets Mackenzie Dern down, you can expect some fucking action on the ground from Virna. She is not just a lay and pray fighter who does nothing on the ground. I'm not saying Mackenzie Dern is that, but the numbers here for non-significant stress: 67, 30, 58, 2, 50, 73, 14. So some of them are still very good because Mackenzie does do work on the ground. They're not close to what Virna's doing. I think her ceiling is higher. I think her floor is probably higher, even in a loss. I mean, what is she giving up per loss? She's scoring... Hold on, that was not what I was looking for. Where's her numbers? Oh, 46.9 points is what she scores in a loss. Mackenzie Dern is at 43. So it's not a 5-round loss. We don't have any numbers for that. So they're both in the 40s. They both score extremely well when they lose. And this is now a 5-round fight, guys. So we could see 50, 60, 70 points from the loser. Stack this fight is what I would do. This is the stacked fight. The next one, the main event, is not a stacked fight. I don't even know if I said the lines. Minus 160 for Dern, minus 140 for Jandiroba. Dern is 86, Jandiroba is 76. Stack this fucking fight up, guys. I think the winner scores 115. The winner scores 110, 115 or more. I think the loser scores 50, 60. If we're lucky, it's 70, and that's where you want to be. I mean, if Virna could 8 to 9x her salary here, I will take that all day in a cash lineup. So this is the fight I'm stacking. I am picking outright Virna Jandiroba to get the win and new. Give her the fucking title. Zhang Weili comes back to strawweight, and then we get the fight I've been waiting for. I've been wanting to see Virna against Zhang Weili for quite a long time. So maybe we'll get that if my prediction is correct. But yeah, I'm going with Virna. Stacking this one up in cash, but I will have much more Virna than I will Mackenzie Dern. And it's also simply because of the salary, right? We got $1,000 difference here. There's a lot of expensive fighters this week. I need some people down, maybe not in the Mitch Raposo range if I'm playing him, or somebody at 72 like Iron Turtle, but I'm going to need one more fighter in this range, and Virna Jandiroba is that fighter. So yeah, I mean, if I've got Raposo or Turtle, Virna Jandiroba, and then Nasrat at 81, I've got a lot of room to work with up in my cash lineup up at that top range. So yeah, that's how we're going to play this one. I think Virna wants it more. I think she's meaner. I think she might be, not on paper, better all around, but I don't know, man. I mean, not like Mackenzie doesn't want it. I just think Virna really fucking wants it. So I'm picking Virna to win this one. It's going to be a close fight. Stack it up in cash. We did it, guys. Main event of the evening. Tom Aspinall taking on Cyril Gane. And, I mean, what am I even going to say about these? Look at these fucking numbers. Even defensively, look at these fucking numbers. It is crazy. Cyril Gane is right up there with the striking. I mean, not right up there compared to this, but towards the top of the card for sure. No takedown offense, no control offense, no ground offense, no sub offense. Defensively, the striking is pretty good. Does eat leg kicks, which Tom Aspinall throws frequently. Does have decent control defense. Takedown defense is not good. 44%, guys. What are we talking about here with people picking Cyril Gane? So he landed a couple takedowns against Volkov. He threw one against Spivak, and he landed a couple on John Jones. Really, it's been since that fucking Francis fight that people are like, oh, can this guy wrestle? Because before that, they were like, this guy cannot wrestle. Not only does he not wrestle, he can't. He's physically incapable of it, and even if he was capable, he's dog shit, so he doesn't wrestle. Then this fight happened. Then all of a sudden, people are like, wait, can he wrestle? And now they're picking him to beat Tom Aspinall. I mean, if they're right, more power to them. I don't fucking see it. Right? Like, Tom hasn't had to land a takedown in 4 fights or attempt one because they've been a minute long or less in that loss when he blew out his knee. But before that, it was 2 of 2, 2 of 2, 1 of 1, 1 of 1. He's getting takedowns. He's getting a ton of control time when he gets those takedowns. And he's submitting guys, right? He's beating them on the ground. He's landing those ground and pound strikes, non-significant strikes in the fights where he's landed takedowns. I mean, 17% is not great. So it's not where you want it to be, but it doesn't matter with him. He doesn't fuck around with non-significant strikes. He fucks around with significant strikes, and then he ends the fight early, giving you 90 bonus points. So there's multiple ways to make the optimal lineup, and Tom is doing it in a different way. He is minus 400 plus 300 for Gane, and his salary, I believe, 9,400 and 6,800. Love Tom Aspinall this week. Averages 112.39 per win. Take out his high and low, it's still 112. Cyril Gane averaging 91. One scored 56 in a win, whereas Tom's floor is closer to 95. So, yeah. I mean, who has Cyril been losing to? John Jones, Francis Ngannou. No shame in that. The guys he's beating are decent. Volkov, Lewis, Tuivasa, Spivak, Volkov. Like, these guys aren't as good as, I guess they're all the same guys. It's all the same guys for the most part. Actually, the strength of schedule is going to go to Cyril Gane because he fought John Jones. That's the only reason why his strength of schedule is higher. It's because he fought John Jones and probably Francis Ngannou. Other than that, they're fighting all the same guys. I mean, 4.5 strikes a minute, 6 strikes, 6.6, 5, and then 2.8 in that third round. Meanwhile, Aspinall, look at these first round numbers, right? So he's averaging like 8 strikes a minute, 8.77. Cool. No third rounds, fourth rounds, fifth rounds. He's been in the second round one time. In the first round, 9.13 strikes a minute, 1.5 takedowns, and 2 minutes of fucking control time. These are all time first round numbers. 99th percentile, 89, 99. He's landing a ton of power. He's got his takedowns mixed in. These are all time first round numbers. And Cyril Gane, what's his worst round if you take out rounds 4 and 5? Round fucking 1, where he gives up 2 strikes a minute, takedowns, and control time. Now, these numbers aren't bad. The takedowns are bad. But offensively, he doesn't do shit for the most part. It's his worst striking round. He doesn't land takedowns or control time. And his defensive numbers are suspect, especially in that takedown score. Control and significant striking, not suspect. But defensive takedowns, absolutely. And that is what Tom does, man. That is what Tom does in the first and second round. So it's going to be a good fight, maybe, for as long as it lasts. I've got Tom Aspinall. I mean, fight ITDs minus 600. A fighter wins inside the distance is minus 300. It's plus 475 for Gane. So we know where Vegas stands. I probably think the same thing. Tom Aspinall early. I mean, what is Cyril Gane going to do? Unless he catches him with some shot. But we saw Sergey Pavlovich catch Tom Aspinall with a shot, and it didn't fucking matter. It didn't fucking matter. Gane is probably better than Pavlovich, I would say, from a technical striking perspective, but he's too able to be taken down and controlled, especially by a guy who's as good as Tom Aspinall. So I don't see how Cyril Gane can do it. I'm not stacking this fight because the winner probably makes the loser look terrible, and they're not going to score very well, and I am squarely picking Tom Aspinall to win this one. So he'll be in my GPP lineup. If I can get him in my cash lineup, he'll be in it. Obviously, with two heavyweights, it's a bit riskier, but I think in this case, I mean, and hell, maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going all in on Aspinall, and it's not going to pay off. So I'll just be dead in the water anyways, because I'm not going to have a ton of Cyril Gane. But yeah, that's just how I feel about this fight. I think Aspinall smashes him. I think he has the potential to smash him. I think he scores pretty fucking well. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. That's all 14 fights broken down from a stat perspective from your boy. But before you go, kill shot time. I did not talk to Sniper today. I don't know what his kill shot is. If I had to guess, what would it be? Maybe somebody in the 9K range. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Had to do it to you. I went with Jun-Young Park, Iron Turtle, over Ikram Alaskarov. The durability, if he can get past round one, I think he's looking pretty fucking good for the most part. So that's who I picked. I mean, Mario Batista was in the running, but I don't think he's got much of a chance. Who else would be in the running? Rumbeshki would be in the running, but that's going to be too high owned, and he's 7,800, which is a little too high for a kill shot, in my opinion. Maybe he would take Rakic. I don't know. Maybe he would take... I mean, you can't pick Verna. That would be an obvious one. Maybe he'll take Volkov. I was thinking Mitch Raposo, actually, at 7K. Mitch fucking Raposo would be an interesting second. That would probably would have been my second pick. And if Jun-Young Park is too high owned, then go to Mitch Raposo for sure. But those are my main one. And then if that's too much for some people, then yeah, go with the big underdog and Raposo. But yeah, that is going to do it, guys. Enjoy your fight week. It's my birthday week. They always fight in Abu Dhabi for my birthday, and I fucking love it. What a great card I get on my birthday eve. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Hope you are too. Follow Sniper on all the things, YouTubes, Twitters, X's. Get in the Discord, DFS Army. Sign up today and get all the coaches' notes, projections. You get the optimizer. You get everything. Oh, and it's all sports. I know NBA just started today. So get on over to DFS Army and check that out. But yeah, follow me. All my stuff's here on the right. And yeah, we'll be back to the same old format next week, guys. And as usual, I want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy. And we will see you in the next one.